between your big toe and the toe next to it. That's where the center of your foot on the foundation is if you're on one foot. If you're on 2 feet, it's a space between the balls of your feet. So you think about the information, you say, what did it feel like? Oh yeah, if I pull up better, I'll be better at it. That's something that this tells you. And then I'm going to lock into my power center, and I'm going to put my power center over my foot. And now I'm going to shift all of that. I know I was told to shift it. Think about it. Pull up so that you can do it well. Find your center. Put it over the other foot. And now it's over. It's all lined up. And I almost feel like a laser goes off for me when it's all lined up. I go, phew. Oh, there it is. When you really feel the alignment of your body through space from all the 5 centers, you get this little surge that I get anyway. Maybe you won't get it, but it's an acknowledgement of it, and it's a way that you know you're always centered because you just know what it feels like to be centered. And if you're not used to doing it, it's going to take you some time. You see how we work that out? Information goes to the place where you feel. You want to perform for sure. This told me, oh, I'm not really awake yet and listening. And then, oh yeah, it's all about where this is and where this is and how I can put this over it. This thing has to always look for an alignment over the others, okay?
Now once we're here, get to there, get to a foot, right? You're going to say behind and side. Say that.
Behind and side.
Say it again.
Behind and side.
Now just watch me. Behind and side, behind and side. I want you to do a collected triple, behind and side. So set a foot through your 5 centers. Think about that, right? So you're thinking, you're feeling, right? You're over your power, right? Making sure that the foot to foundation is there. We're making sure our performance is where it's supposed to be. So it's that healing balloon kind of feel, right? And do the behind and side. Ready, go. Triple step, triple step, triple step, triple step, triple step, triple step, and stop right there. Stay over there. Just imagine that line that Tom's talking about, right? Imagine it's a taunt string right now, and that string gets cut, and the head and everything else collapses. Boom, cut. Now triple step, triple step, triple step. Do you feel the difference in that? Do you feel the difference? As soon as that lightsaber goes, right? That laser goes away, right? Boom. And this is where lots of you dance, right? This is where most of you dance. Most of you dance in that sit upon yourself, collapsed space. Instead of finding that alignment of those 5 centers, understanding that center that's above you, set that over your feet, and then you're dancing here. Now, by the way, dancing here, does that mean that I can't do this? Of course I can. But this is all still there. Do you see that? Even if I'm in here, all of that is still there. I'm not up here, and then all of a sudden this becomes something collapsed. You with me on that?
Yes.
So Gene Kelly, do you know who he is?
Yes.
Gene Kelly said in his autobiography, there's no such thing as a natural dancer. No such thing. Because our bodies are built to contract. Our muscles are built to contract. And in order to become a great dancer, we must learn to expand and stretch. And our muscles aren't built to expand and stretch. And the illusion is they must be able to expand and stretch, even in a dance that looks like it's compact. So he was a tapper, right? He did jazz, tap, ballet, all of it. But he didn't contract his body instead of go. That's very heavy. He actually would expand, right? And his feet are so much faster, and everything moves so much better underneath him from this situation, even if he was down, than this situation. And what Tom's doing right now, and aligning all of those, puts us into that situation where our body has so many more options and space. Say space.
Space.
There's space within our system to be able to move and shape. When we sit upon ourselves, we have no space. You with me on that?
Yes.
Great.
So when you did this little break here, behind and side, how many of you felt the behind with your awareness center, or did you have enough time to do that? I had a feeling of centering. Oh, there I am. And I have 3 of them on each side. There it is. So you want to listen here, knowing that everything's aligned, and you want to listen to make sure you get a feeling of connection over each foot. You have to practice it slowly, because at the tempo, you're not going to be able to literally feel, oh, I'm fully connected, but you will get there. But it's a slow process.
Let me just say one thing about what Tom just said in all the applications. So do this, put your weight on foot. The behind, because in West Coast Swing, the first part of that is a partial weight transfer, not a full weight transfer. Actually, what I'd like you to do is instead of, I wouldn't carry my center over my power center to that foot in West Coast Swing. What I would actually be doing is the pressure of this foot's intention is to maintenance my center over the other foot. So because we do a partial full delay,
Okay.
Right, so when we do that, our triple step doesn't carry the center to the foot, so we're not doing this, we're over this way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, maybe,
Right.
well, there's a little option to not necessarily get over the foot there.
Right.
But if you wanted to be a bit more looser and a little bit more hippie, you could go back a little bit. But I do realize you're not actually getting a full
Full weight transfer.
engagement. But
Right.
you should have felt something over the ball of your foot.
Right.
Even
For the
if
record,
it's
I'm
just-
still
even
using
if it's
it.
just pressure and
Right.
pushing. I still have a feeling this center is now there and then back. Now, it's trying to keep me forward, like Robert said, but if I just go like this, does that work?
Right, that's us.
You've got, there's part of you has to be going over that foot. So it's a partial, like I said, it's a partial. And it's not even a half partial, it's a pretty small amount. Okay, is that questions about that? Is that making sense?
So, because the pressure in my feet, the foot to foundation, do foot to foundation. Just feel that, foot to foundation, right? The pressure in the feet have a lot of importance in keeping my center where I want it or pushing it where I want it to go when I talk about my power center, right? So my feet are going to help move my power center where I want it to go. Does that make sense? So just like when I do this partial full, this back partial, its importance and the pressure that's happening in the floor, its importance is making sure that I'm maintaining my power center where I need it for the next step, for the way we do triple steps. Yes? Cool? So it's all still 100% tied into the whole thing. Yeah, yeah? Cool.
So having heard these